Hey man, real estate say shit. You already know what the fuck going on. So on Monday, we had crazy news, like in the tragic story of Mac Miller's death. One of the people that was like sort of the ringleader in the whole like fentanyl distribution situation was formally like pled guilty for Mac Miller's death. So on Monday, a man pleaded guilty to distributing fentanyl-laced pills that caused Mac Miller's fatal overdose in 2018, according to a plea agreement filed in California. Stephen Andrew Walter pleaded guilty to one count of distributing fentanyl. On September 4, 2018, Walter told a runner to distribute counterfeit oxycodone pills that contained the synthetic drug fentanyl, according to a plea agreement. That runner gave the pills to Miller's dealer, who provided them to Miller, the document said. 3 days later, he died from what a coroner later describes as a mixed drug toxicity of fentanyl, cocaine, and alcohol. The plea agreement states that Walter knew the pills contained fentanyl or some other federally controlled substance and knew they would be given to the dealer. It also says Miller would not have died from an overdose but for the fentanyl contained in the pills. He faces like 20 years now. It's just definitely crazy if you think about it, because like more details basically came to light in the whole situation because of that. Basically, that guy, Stephen Walter, he was the one that gave it to a middleman who also got arrested, who gave it to the nigga Cameron Pettit, who's the person that gave the drugs to Mac Miller, and Mac Miller ultimately passed. In the whole situation, this kind of shed light on his life and the struggles that he was going through, and it's just really sad. And like the whole thing kind of stems from like, it's just one unfortunate day, and the details in this shit are really crazy, man. So let's like get into it. So on September 7th, 2018, Mac Miller was found dead in a praying position in his bed. He basically had an overdose, and many believe that he felt like he was overdosing, and he overdosed and died. At the scene, the police found a magazine inside of a safe, and inside on the magazine there was like residue from blue pills and a gift card that was cut up to make it like something easy to snort and shit. And then they kind of just went through his phone, and then they got more information about the whole like deal, and were able to get all the information from the dealer up until the person that was distributing it, and then they caught them all and shit. It's kind of crazy, but like you even go through the text messages and everything, and it kind of shows that niggas were kind of just taking advantage of him for real. So this all started on September 4th, 2018. The following text messages exchanged occurred between Malcolm and Pettit. Malcolm said, "Yo." Pettit said, "Yo, what's up?" Pettit is the other dealer that gave the drugs to him. And then Mac Miller said, "Did you hear anything about Addie?" "Nah, I couldn't find any," Pettit says. Mac says, "All good. You don't have any lean, do you? Perks?" Pettit says, "I got some dilaudid 2s, and that's about it. I could get yellows and blues though." Mac says, "Blues as far as perks?" Pettit says, "Yeah, 30s. Those are my shits, man." Mac says, "When can you get them?" Pettit says, "Probably in an hour or two. They're 30 each." And then Mac says, "Any chance I could get 10 of those, 10 bars and a ball?" "Yeah, for sure," Pettit says. "I'll get back to you when I go and pick those up." Yeah, so little did he know, Mac know, that he was back, that was going to be his downfall, because it was like a couple days later on September 7th that the cops basically like found Mac Miller dead, or sorry, his assistant found him dead, and then the cops found this shit. The craziest thing about it too is like, not only was he like getting these drugs from this person, but he got drugs from another person named Carla, who's the person that basically gave the contact of Cameron to Mac. And then Carla, she basically like gave him this basically the same amount of drugs, and a prostitute and shit. But like she when she gave him the drugs, his drugs actually ended up real, and it says in the police report that it was actually real. But he ingested the fake pills from Cameron Pettit, which came along the line from this guy Stephen Walter, and Shortly after his death, law enforcement discovered a magazine in an open safe in McCormick's bedroom with blue-colored powder and multiple indentations visible on its cover. A rolled piece of paper and a credit card-style gift were nearby. Based on my training and experience, this is in a police report, I know that users sometimes consume oxycodone pills by crushing them on a flat surface, frequently with a credit card, and snorting the resulting powder through a straw-like device, frequently rolled paper or rolled currency. The presence of powder and indentations on the magazine, as well as the rolled powder and gift card nearby, suggests that Malcolm crushed and snorted one of them or more of the counterfeit oxycodone pills containing fentanyl before his death. Moreover, the blue color powder indicates that the crushed pills were blue. As noted above, there were two types of blue pills in a plastic bag: the oxycodone that the girl Carla had given, and then the counterfeit pills that Cameron Pettit had given. And he had taken, like, there were supposed to be 10 of them and only 6 of them remained, so we took 4. It's definitely some crazy shit, man. It just goes to show you really gotta look at who you're dealing with and shit. And he was like, you could tell by the messages and shit that he was definitely down on some other shit. Like, he was really deep in the drugs and shit. Couldn't really get out of that shit, man. He couldn't get out of his addiction. Ultimately, that's what ended up taking up his life. But the new details basically show that, like, he got the pills from Pettit, and then Pettit, like, got the pills from this other guy, and then Steven, that guy, the guy that just pled guilty the other day, was the one that basically was the ringleader of all this shit and knew there was fentanyl inside of it. Not only this, these niggas kept dealing even after this man died. So it's just like crazy, man. Like, it's sad that they fucking got him and he fucking died. And it just goes to show you really gotta test your drugs and really gotta see what the fuck is good, because these niggas will take advantage of you if you're like just a troubled famous person with hella money and shit. And it's sad to see, and it's like the sad truth. This nigga was off the shits. He was getting hella fucked up. He was buying like prostitutes and shit. He was down bad. He just wanted to numb everything and just be off this shit. And ultimately, I feel like niggas, especially like rappers and shit, like they have a lot of money and they're just bored and shit, and they're able to just flex like that, but it's really not a good thing. So it's just interesting to see. And RIP a legend for real. His album Faces is just dropping on all streaming platforms, so peace to his family and shit. I was a big fan of this nigga. I just hope that soul situation gets sorted out. And it just sucks that niggas be taking advantage of people, and this is kind of like the sad truth behind it, that like he was just like was at the wrong place at the wrong time, because that Cameron dude was the first person to give him the pills, so those were the ones that he took. The girl, she was like the second person to pull up and give him the pills, and because he ended up taking Cameron's pills first, he ended up ODing and dying. So man, what can you say? Shit's sick, shit's fucked up, but don't do drugs, just smoke weed, live life and shit. But hey man, real stay safe shit. RIP Mac Miller, listen to Faces and shit. Hey, we dropping new clothes. Stay safe world, gang, you know, already know. We're gonna have that shit link in the bio, all that shit. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. We going up from here. Real stay safe shit, we out.